Welcome guys to another episode of Match Report, and in this one I'm going to be talking about United's latest match against Reading that took place today at the Majeski Stadium. And as you know, we go into this match after City drew at home with Everton, and that gives us all the right platforms to go on and extend the lead at the very top. Chelsea also had a bad result against West Ham, losing 3-1 away at Upton Park. So, it was a perfect result, like I said, that we were going to go into this game, perhaps show a bit of form and, go on to get the most importantly, 3 points to go into the derby or Manchester derby next weekend to, have a clear lead and then hopefully, get a good result at the Etihad. It's not going to be an easy match there. So it was really necessary to get as best a platform and give yourself a chance next week. So the team, it was a very similar lineup to the one that took place during midweek. Anders Lindegaard starting his 5th game in a row after replacing David Gea in goal. Rafael, Evra, Ferdinand come back in place of Smalling. Evans, Anderson, Carrick, Young, Fletcher, Rooney and Van Persie completed the rest of the team. So a slight variation in the formation, but again, the main core of the team is still very much there. Darren Fletcher again making another appearance in the league, so it's great news to see that Darren Fletcher is definitely on the mend and featuring more regularly in the first team, showing that he is making good progress in terms of his rehab for his bowel condition. So it's a great news on that front, for Darren Fletcher. And going through the game, Reading, they're not a bad side at all. They have a great work ethic because under Brian McDermott, they have, again, because they are a newly promoted side, they have to work hard for each other in order to give themselves a chance of staying up. But this game was a really crazy game, and I'll just go into the action straight away. So again, I think for the 9th or 10th time this season, we go again 1-0 behind thanks to Robson Carney for Reading on 8th minute when it was a ball crossed in, I think, by Joby McAnuff, and Johnny Evans headed it out, but it was a really poor defensive header, didn't get any distance, so it just dropped at Robson Carney, who shot, and I think it was a deflected shot of Johnny Evans' back that took it over and away from Anders Lindegaard. Johnny Evans again was at fault, I think, for that goal, in my opinion. Lindegaard didn't have a chance with it because just where the ball went, because it went arrow to the top corner of the net. So his positioning, I think Lindegaard might have been a little bit better if I was being really picky. But again, I wouldn't take away from the finish from Robson Carney, who struck it very sweetly. And like I said, this game, it was terrible defending, and that was just the start of it. We hit back like ourselves on the 13th minute with Anderson. After a great play down the left, actually, with between Anderson and actually Young. Young then fed Anderson through with an inside ball that no one tracked Anderson, surprisingly. Perhaps, like the ESPN commentators said, that they might have underestimated Anderson, because he was going nowhere, and put it, if Van Persie had or Rooney had been there, they might have been a bit closer to him. But Anderson had a first-time shot that, bulleted right into the net, and Federici, I think he could have done a bit better, but credit to Anderson, just how powerful he struck that ball, and Federici again could have done a bit better, but take nothing away from Anderson's finish. Then we, for the first time in the game, take the lead in the 16th minute after a corner from ourselves. It was a really strange corner. Rooney overhitting it. Johnny Evans with a great first touch to bring the ball down, and then J Tab of Reading was a little reckless and harsh and a bit rash. Bundling Johnny Evans. The referee had no choice, so he had to award a penalty. And then it was kind of like a weird decision because Rooney hasn't had the best record this season or the past year or so with penalties, and in contrast, Van Persie is very reliable, apart from the one at Southampton, obviously. But Rooney, confidently enough, stepped up and the scoreline 2-1 to the Reds. And it was a great penalty, sending Federici the other way. But again, I think Brian McDermott would have been quite disappointed with his team, because especially in J-Tab, there was no need for that challenge, to be fair. And it just basically gave the goal to United. However, it didn't last very long, because 3 minutes later, on the 19th minute, a simple corner from Nicky Shorey from the left-hand side, whipped over, and then Adam Lafondra had a free header from 6 yards out from the goal. Lindegaard might have done a bit better. Van Persie tried to get back on the line, but it wasn't to no avail. I think Darren Fletcher was at fault for this one. Didn't mark his player at all, just left him, and a bit naive. Maybe perhaps someone like Rooney could have been marking him, but again, Darren Fletcher, poor marking, and it was very similar to the goal that he gave away at Galatasaray as well, letting his man run it in front of him and gets in the all vital contact within that 6-yard box. And when you get any contact, it's very hard for a goalkeeper or any defender to get the ball away, because of the close proximity to the goal, that it would have been, again, very hard to get the ball away. And then, the game's still very, very lively, with both teams not playing great football, to be fair. This game was just basically more and very entertaining because of the sheer amount of goals that went in. And then what happens? Another corner from Nicky Shorey, and that led to Reading's third goal from Morrison, who actually has impressed me so far this season. Morrison, I've seen Match of the Day, etc., and he's got a great leap on him for again, he is a big man, but again, his leap has raised and makes him a great danger at corner kicks. And this time again, we didn't mark him properly, and he basically just went all over Johnny Evans. Just before that, Jason Roberts was causing a bit of confusion with Lindegaard, who I think was at fault. If you had to criticise one person, Johnny Evans certainly should have done a bit better, but Lindegaard, I think he shouldn't have bothered with Jason Roberts so much, and just came in front of the two players and caught the ball. But Lindegaard having one of his poorest games I've seen so far in his United career. Everyone says about his aerial prowess, but I don't think he gave him, or to put himself in the limelight today in a good light anyway. And I think that David De Gea might get the nod in midweek, and then if he does well in that, he might get a nod for the game at Man City. De Gea has been picked during the biggest games this season against the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal, so I think he suddenly proves he got a big game pedigree because of his time at Atletico Madrid as well. So De Gea, he might have a chance to start next week, but against Lindegaard, you can afford him too much, but his overall performance today was below par in my opinion. And then to make the half even more entertaining, we retook the lead after great work again for down the left from Ashley Young, backheeling it to Patrice Evra, crossing it across the box, and Wayne Rooney with the easiest of finishes. And then 4 minutes later, on the 34th minute, Rooney flicking the ball to Van Persie, who was onside, played on by Nicky Shorey, with a simple finish, right-footed. Again, it's kind of weird to see Van Persie scoring this many goals with his right foot, but having a great season, Van Persie, like I said, great finish. Federici didn't have no chance, and when he was through, there's only one outcome when Van Persie's in this kind of form, and he's making a great start to his United career. I wasn't sure how much or how quickly he would settle into a United shirt and life, but again, he's proven his class to the fans and already, I think, redeeming his transfer fee in the summer. So Van Persie playing extremely well, but and then. He could have had another goal after great play from Ash Young, crossing over to Chris Smalling. Federici actually saved quite well from Smalling, the first header, and then after that it came straight down to Van Persie, who shot. At first I thought Mariappa got it away, but on the replays it was 2-3 yards over. So I'm not sure how the assistant referee missed that, to be fair. But again, it was fast, and when you saw it spontaneously in real life and live, I guess it was too fast for him to decide. And if you can't be sure, you can't give it. But I think he should have, gave the benefit of that to the attacker. But that's easy saying that because we're United supporters. But I think Van Persie was desperately unlucky there. And in the second half, it highlighted the kind of like poor kind of like football side of the game, really. It was for the mutuals because of all the goals. It's obviously very entertaining. But on the footballing side, where it's the technical side of it, it was very, very bad, I have to say the least, from both sides. I'm not taking any credit from Reading's work rate, but we were really poor. We had a ball for a while, but overall we couldn't master up any real significant chances. Reading, to be fair, they stuck to their strength with set plays, and like I said, Anders Lindegaard was dreadful in the air today. Some of the times he got very, very lucky. One occasion was from a crossing from the right hand side where he was just in no man's land and the ball just hit him on arm without him intentionally saving it. So again, that number one spot is obviously up for grabs, and Lindegaard didn't cover himself in much credit or claim today to make that spot permanent. So they might have a shout next week as well, like I said. But Van Persie had another chance in the second half when he closed down Federici, who was having a bit of nightmare with the back passes. Close him down, but losing his composure in a vital moment. That's something you don't expect from Robin Van Persie. But any striker has a bad day, but comparing him to Fernando Torres, on a bad day where his finishing boots was left at somewhere else, he still gets a goal. So Van Persie still proving his doubters or his haters wrong at United. So overall, it's a good 3 points, but like I said, the performance and the defending especially was really, really shocking. And if we're not careful, we're not gonna have a chance at Etihad if we keep defending like this. I know Man City hasn't clicked into any gear yet, but again, with the attacking line and prowess, we have to be very vigilant in defending. And Selec, threatened to play himself next week if the defending doesn't improve. And I think, Johnny Evans and Ferdinand, although they play very well together, the introduction of Smalling and Jones in, just one of them might prove a good move from Selec before the game next week. Raphael went off in a strop after being substituted by 30 minutes. I kind of, understand that because being a professional, you hate to be, it's almost embarrassing because you don't want to be taken off before time. But I think Selec had to do it just because of the set pieces and he needed a bit more height. So the introduction of Jones and Smalling suddenly helped with that aspect. But again, it wasn't a great footballing game. But 3 points is 3 points, and we're now 3 points clear of City before going to next week's game. The man in the match, I have to say, there wasn't, again, not a lot of outstanding contenders. From our side and point of view, I think I would just give it to Michael Carrick, actually, because of just, when you see him for the 90 minutes, you kind of like appreciate how much good work he actually puts in, all the little passes and stuff. But again, the little shouts to Rooney, who, gave in a very workmanlike on the right hand side, tracking back, helping the right back all the time. Van Persie getting on the score sheet, but over his play didn't merit a man of the match, I don't think. Anderson, great goal, but again, unfortunately, a bit of injury has hit him again. I'm not sure what it is or how long he will be out for, but it was really unfortunate. It might be the last straw from Selec to maybe let him go in the near future, but Anderson just so desperately unlucky because he was hitting form at the right time and was about to perhaps cement his place in the first team once again, but injury has hit hard and restricting him to the sidelines and injury table once again. So there you guys have it for another episode of Match Report. Like I said, overall it was a good win, but it wasn't a great performance from defending certainly. So if you have any comments on today's game, who should have been your man of the match, the hotly discussed topic about Anders Lindegaard and David De Gea, who should play next week at Manchester City. So all that to talk about, and please leave your comment below on any of those topics. Please like this video if you do like the content, and if you do like it, please subscribe to this channel for more content as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.